Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny Marksman here, and today I'm here with Andre, who is a awesome tech house producer that is really refining his craft. So, Andre, what's up? Great to have you here. How's it all going?
Hello, Johnny. It's good to be here. Everything's going great. My music is getting better and better. Every day I practice more and more.
Awesome, man. Well, look, it's super great to hear that, and I'm glad that we're like making some serious progress. I can definitely hear it from my side as well. But yeah, like I guess let's just dive into a little bit. So, where you started with us was it was just about over a month ago, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, like how was the process before working with us? Like what was going on in your production journey and where you at now? Yeah.
Okay. So I was a bit skeptical at first because there are a lot of fake people who can promise you things that is a lie. There's a lot of fake people, and I was skeptical. And before I had you, I had another teacher who produces music, and he helped me a lot. I still speak to the guy to this day. But you spoke to me, you reached out to me on Instagram. I remember you gave me a call, and I decided. I first spoke to my teacher, and I told him what you told me, and he said, "No, it sounds legit. If he promises you that you can get a track signed, he's lying. But if he says if you put the hard work and there's a possibility, it means it's legit. Like this is you must go for it." So I took the shot, and I'm so happy. Like every day I try to join as many calls as possible. And it's not like those calls where you just watch, you can unmute yourself and we can ask you, can you repeat this? And you repeat. And honestly, I thought my one track, which I sent you, was perfect, and I can't believe how it changed even more and more and just sounds better every time you give me those new ideas, just unlocking my brain to like fix it. And it just sounds better and better. And I'm learning new things and I'm really happy with the course. In this 1 month, I've learned so much.
That's amazing to hear. And yeah, you really have made the most out of all the sessions you can. Like that's exactly what we want. We find people that, take massive action and really do make the most out of everything are gonna get the best results, right? And we can see how far you've come already. Like that session we did last week where we were diving into the project and showing you all those cool things we could do with the seed mode in Ableton. Like I think that's gonna be a really cool thing, especially for your style of music as well. And yeah, like there's, as you say, like people that promise you the world, like nobody can guarantee a signing. And if they can, then that's never going to be something that you could do forever because you do have to have quality control as a label. As someone that runs a label, you have to guarantee quality, right? So we can guarantee that if you show up and do the work, and we can show you the way basically, like you will get there. But yeah, like I'm glad you did check it through with your other mentor as well. Like we absolutely afford that. People should go out and check out what's out there and see what we have to offer. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad you did stick with us and are finding it really good. So yeah, like to that point, like what are you finding the most helpful out of everything so far? Like, is it the trainings, the track feedbacks, or yeah, what's your kind of favorite part about it?
Honestly, the community is really amazing. Like when there's not a training and I had an issue, I posted in the school group, which were there, "Hey, can someone help?" And in an hour, I had maybe like three people reply to me telling me, "Where's the issue? How can I fix it?" The
Hmm.
community is, there's no hate. Everyone there is to learn and grow. And also the classes, even if you don't send a song, it's nice to watch it because you can see the other people what they created. You can see what you or TJ says where's the problem, and you can see in your track if it's the same, and you learn things. And of course, the master production, which you guys do, learn some great tips from there all the time. Whenever we see the little tricks which you guys do in your production skills.
Yeah, for sure. Well, with the community side of things is arguably, of course, outside of all the training and feedback and all of that great stuff, right? That's arguably one of the best parts because just I remember when I was producing on my own, I didn't have any, like all my friends were like wanting to be like finance bros or whatever. And no one that I knew. I was like a sort of outcast, so to speak, the only guy that was doing music and production. So I didn't know anybody in the game. I had no connections to like labels or other producers. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So if I were to have something like this when I started out, or even got a little bit further down the line, like this would be amazing. Just we do try and make sure that we, bring in the right people as well that are going to, number one, like get results. That's what we want, but also, give back to the community and be helpful. And, there's only so much that myself and Tim like know as well, right? Like, of course, we are super experienced, but like having other people share their thoughts and inputs and things that we might not have thought about is really, really good. And just being in that community where you have everybody that's all trying to just make better music and all going towards the same goal. It's super supportive, but you just can also be inspired by them. Like, as you say, you see people on the calls with their tracks and you're like, oh, that's really cool. I want to do something like that. And you learn from them. So yeah, that's really awesome as well. And what's the plan for you next? Like, do you have like any tracks lined up ready to go, or like, yeah, what's the plan for 2025 for you, Andre?
The plan for 2025, with your guys' help, I want to try get one track released. That is the goal for this year. I know it's not going to be easy, but I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to join as many calls as possible, and I'm going to make that track sound amazing until you listen to it and like, wow, then I know it's ready to be sent.
I think we could be a bit more ambitious here, Andre. One track for 2025. Come on, man. We can do way more than that. I
Yeah.
reckon I reckon at least three. Like for sure we'd be able to. Like it's February now, right? Like we got plenty of time. I would be amazed if we can't get three out there. Like that track you have been sharing a couple times, the one with the Shoreditch
Hazy.
one, like that's
Yeah.
almost ready to go for sure. So it's just a case of getting that finally polished up a little bit more and then like sending it out, right? And obviously we can help you with our network and get you the support you need through promo and what have you. But yeah, that's already one basically. I'd be surprised if we don't get that tied up in the next couple of weeks for sure. And then it's onto some new stuff. So yeah, like we could for sure have three, four, maybe even five. You know what? Let's say five. How about that?
Okay.
Let's get
Okay. I
five
like
tracks finished and released.
Okay, I like the sound of it. But my goal is, even if they're not the best, I want to learn to make tracks at least twice a month to just finish a track because I've noticed whenever I leave the track too long, it gets boring. Like I don't want to continue it. Like I have the
Mm.
idea and then I spend 1 week, a second week, a third week, and then I get stuck and I cancel it. So I want to learn to give myself a time frame to make at least two tracks a month. That way I know in 2 weeks I can make one track, get it done, even if it's not mastered mixed, just have the idea done. And then the other
Mm.
little stuff in the calls, whenever I send the for track feedback, I can get from you, hey, this needs to be the
Yeah, well, I think two tracks a month definitely achievable, man. Like we have people in the program that they've got full-time jobs, they've got wives, husbands, kids, dogs, and all sorts of other stuff outside of just sitting in the studio all day making music. And people with all of those things are with the workflows we teach, they're able to make sometimes a track a week, sometimes even two tracks a week. Like obviously everybody's going to be quicker and have more time, less time, and other
yeah.
responsibilities, sure. But like two tracks a month, anybody could do that in this program for sure. Like no question about that. Now, on the topic of like getting a bit sick of them and bored, like something you could try is, and this is what I actually recommend to a lot of people as well, is working on more than, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but working on more than one track at the same time. So maybe have two or even three songs where you're just getting them to the same point. So, for example, you could do the initial loop for one track and then go, okay, I'm going to pause this here. I'm going to do the initial loop for the next track and then the next track. And then you just progress them like each time. And yeah, you might, if you're feeling really inspired for one, you can blast it all the way to like the structuring and arrangement side of things. Sure, no problem. But you still do have those three tracks ready. And by cycling through, it's going to like refresh your brain, but also make it so you're not just getting annoyed at the track
At the
because there
same
is,
track, yeah.
yeah, because there is definitely a trade-off between like speed and quality. So you want to be working as quickly as possible so that you can retain your objectivity. Now, I feel like a lot of people do get stuck with tracks because they just listen to it for so long and they never actually get it done, and then it will never be as good as they want it to be. But if you just kind of keep pausing, go on to something else, and then go on to the next one, you act like number one, you'll actually be more productive. But number two, you might actually find the solutions for one of the other tracks in another track. So,
And the
case
other
in
track.
point, there was this one track that actually the track I most no, the one before the track I recently released this time, I was struggling with that bass line. So even like rolling bass lines for me still are quite hard to get right. I think I've now worked out how to nail them, but I was struggling with that for like about a year. And I had another track that I was working on with a similar bass line, and I was sending it to the A&R of this label, right? And he said, like, hey, the bass line's not quite right on this one, but like, you need to do something to it. So I was like, okay. So I spent ages on this new track because I was like, okay, this is going to be signed, so I need to fix this. And then I was like, oh shit, now I get it. And then I could go back to all my other tracks of rolling bass lines, and
And
it
fix
was
them.
all solved there. But that's the thing, like, the answer might lie, the solution to one problem in this track might lie in some other track, and then you can, as soon as you've worked it out, you can go back to the other one. But if you just focus on that one track, it's going to be super frustrating. So yeah, I think that could be something that could level you up. Like, try
It's
working on a
funny
couple
you
tracks
should
at a
say
time.
that, because when I started the track feedback, uh, I actually tried this idea and it does help, because now when you give me the track feedback, I'm like, okay, I go into the hazy and I do what I need to do. I fix it for the next week. But I started a new project and another one. And so I do, like I say, an hour, 2 hours, one, and then I move on to the other track. And it does, it like, it gives you a break from hearing the same sound over and over. And the next day I have more ideas in my head from the other track. I'm like, oh, this might sound good in the previous track. So no, it's funny you actually, because I started that 2 weeks ago, actually.
Good man. Well, yeah, like keep to that. And another thing I would say as well is really nice. What you can do is I have so this is I just have my notes here, right there. This is from a track where you might go away from it for a week or so and then listen to it with fresh ears. I think something that a lot of producers struggle with is they just like constantly tweak stuff and be like, oh, maybe this could be better, or maybe this could be better, and then it never actually gets done. But what you do is if you write a list, like this is actually from a track here,
Yeah,
and yeah, okay, so you have the list, just go through it, like item by item, listen to it one time, make notes, be like, okay, the bass sounds shit for whatever reason, or like there's a problem at bar 39 or whatever with a weird click, all the little things. Just go through, literally do the list, and then that's it. Don't touch it again because you've listened with fresh ears. You knew what to do. That's all you needed to do. The track's finished. And then, like, you can always, of course, come back to us with the feedback. Like, hey, I've just done the list. I've done all the actions of the feedback. Just get the final, like, hey, yep, track's ready to go. And you can get it released. But that's a kind of thing that so many producers struggle with. They say they're just like working on tracks for months and months and months, just making it worse and worse and worse because it was
exactly.
actually
Yeah.
fine to start with, right? So yeah, like that's a really good, I think we can definitely get you producing 2 tracks a month for sure. Probably even like a track a week, I think is not outside of the realm of possibilities, to be honest with you, Andre. Like,
The way I see your guys' classes, I can easily see that happening in the future, because I learned so much, like things which I was stuck. And the best thing is you can stop, like not the other programs which you pay for, you just watch the video. Like you can't stop and unmute and speak to the, by you guys you can unmute, speak, you or Tim, they answer and they go back. And I think that's the best part about this program, is that you guys interact with us. It's not just you make a certain topic, is we can ask you guys and you go back, and it really helps a lot. That's the most important thing.
yeah, for sure. Like, that's how we want it to be because like with recorded videos or just straight up presenting to somebody, like we don't know if you understand what we're talking about. Like, and that's the way that most courses operate. It's just like, hey, let's just make this as clear as possible, and under the assumption that people know what we're talking about. But like, everybody has their own way of learning, and what might be clear to me and Tim might be confusing as hell to somebody, and they're like, okay, I don't understand this point, and that might be a really important part. So yeah, having that ability to be like, hey, yo, whoa, what was that thing? Or like, can you explain this more? I don't quite get it. And that's what we want. We want you guys to be able to understand, well, ideally everything that we're saying. And if you're not sure, do tell us so that we know you know, and so can do it again and again and again. So, like with EQing, for example, you'd be like, okay, like now I know how to do EQing, something I don't need to worry about anymore because now I know how to do it, right? Or compression, or whatever it might be, just any topic or skill, right? So that's what we want, and particularly with like the studio streams as well. Like we are trying to actively explain what we're doing, but sometimes you're just like actually caught up in the making of a track and you might gloss over something that was actually really important, and then the ability to just be like, hey, whoa, what was that thing you just did there? And we're like, oh yeah, of course, sorry, that was really important. Because yeah, it's one thing is like producing a song, but then one thing is explaining what you're doing while you're producing a song, which is still going to want to get signed to a great label, right? So yeah,
Exactly.
it's good we do
And
have that door open.
I'd just like to say for anyone who's thinking like, because you guys aren't such a big company and stuff, I had the same thoughts. Like when I saw him, like, he only has 1,000. I tried with a very big, I paid for a course with a very big like DJ experience. I'm not gonna say the name, but there's like 1,000 people and it's just one video. And if you don't understand, no one helps you. So if you really think of joining this, if you want to grow more and you need help in specific areas, I rate for anyone to join this course because you guys are there. You can stop you, and you guys are there to help everyone in the program. Doesn't matter how silly the question is, you guys answer all the questions.
Well, there you have it. I mean, like, if there's not a better promo than that, I don't know what is. Really appreciate that, Andre. And look, like, if anybody is watching this, and thinking like, hey, I want to give this a try, what you can do is there's a link in the description to go book a call with us. Now, what we'll do is we don't work with everybody. We want to make sure that you are the right person because we guarantee results. But if you're not the right fit for us, we can't make that guarantee. And we only bring on a certain number of people each month. So link is live. If you're serious about this, then go click that link. If you're just doing this for fun and don't want to really make great music and just think it's all, super easy or whatever that might be, don't click the link. Don't waste our time. We're only looking for serious people that really want to take things to the next level. But yeah, go click, book a call with us. We can chat, see if you're a good fit. If you are, we can look to bring you on. If not, no worries. We can at least point you in the right direction, and you'll find that even on that session, you'll leave with a lot of great direction and value. Well, look, Andre, thank you so much for your time. This has been awesome, and I'm super excited to hear some new tunes from you. Hopefully see you on tonight's track feedback call, actually. That would be awesome. And yeah, keep on doing what you're doing. We're going to get you those 5 tracks, like definitely 3 tracks released this year. Let's aim for 5. Let's be ambitious. You got this.
Okay, I believe it. Thank you, Johnny. Have a good one.
Awesome, Andre.